Imagine picking up a random old quarter, just another coin you've seen 1,000 times before, and suddenly realizing it might be worth more money than most people make in a year. That's the excitement behind the rare 1965-era Washington quarter, a coin that looks common on the outside but can secretly hold a life-changing value. Yes, some of these rare 1965 quarters have sold for $80,000, some for around $105,000, and the rarest examples can even reach an unbelievable $128,000. And what makes this even crazier is that many of these valuable coins were once sitting in jars, drawers, or old boxes in people's homes. The story behind why these coins are so rare starts with a big change in the U.S. Mint during the mid-1960s. Back then, people were hoarding silver coins because silver prices were rising fast. At the same time, businesses were begging for more coins because the country was running short. To solve the problem, the Mint decided to remove silver from quarters starting in 1965 and switch to a new copper-nickel composition. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. After 1965, they were made of layers of copper and nickel, which is why today's quarters have a brownish copper edge when you look at them from the side. But during this switch, things got messy. The Mint was rushing, working non-stop, and pushing out millions of coins under pressure, and mistakes happened. These mistakes are the reason that some 1965 quarters, even though they should not exist in silver, were accidentally struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets. And that accident is what makes them worth tens of thousands of dollars today. These silver planchet 1965 quarters are known as transitional errors, because they were made using the old metal during the first year of the new metal. They look almost the same as a normal quarter, but if you hold one, weigh one, or check the edge, you can see the difference. That's where the treasure hunt begins. The silver era 1965 quarter weighs about 6.25 grams, just like the old 1964 silver quarters, instead of the normal 5.67 grams that regular 1965 quarters weigh. This is one of the easiest ways people discover them. Another clue is the sound it makes. When you gently drop a silver quarter on a hard surface, it makes a higher, ringing sound, different from the dull sound of a copper-nickel quarter. And the edge is another huge clue. Real silver quarters do not have a brown copper stripe on the side. If you see a 1965 quarter with a full silver edge, no brown layer, and a heavier weight, you might be holding something special. When collectors find one and send it to grading companies like PCGS or NGC, the value can be massive. One example sold for around $80,000. Another sold for over $96,000. High-grade examples run into the $100,000 range, and the nicest ones ever discovered have reached values close to $128,000. That is a life-changing amount of money for a single quarter. The fun part is that these rare coins were not all found in coin shops or auctions. A few people found them in the most ordinary places: an old jar in the kitchen, a box of mixed coins, a roll of quarters from the bank, or even at garage sales. There are stories of people buying cheap bags of coins and later realizing one of the coins inside was the silver 1965 quarter. One man sorting coins from his mother's house found one by accident and later sold it for more than $80,000. A young girl bought a small box of old coins at a yard sale for just a few dollars, and inside was a rare transitional era quarter that experts valued at over $90,000. It sounds unbelievable, but these stories are real, and they keep collectors excited and searching. Besides the silver transitional era, there are other valuable 1965 quarter mistakes worth knowing about. Some 1965 quarters were struck off-center, giving them strange shapes and missing parts of the design. If the date is still visible and the off-center strike is big, these can be worth thousands of dollars. There are also double-die errors, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled. Some of these sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on how strong the doubling is. Another rare type is the wrong planchet error, where the quarter was struck on a metal blank meant for a foreign coin or another U.S. coin. These can sometimes sell for $10,000 to $20,000. These other errors are fun to look for too, but the most valuable one will always be the silver 1965 quarter, the king of the bunch. The reason people get so excited about 1965 quarters is because they are still out there. These coins weren't all taken out of circulation. They weren't all found yet. Many of them are probably still hiding in old coffee cans, piggy banks, or containers filled with change that hasn't been touched in decades. Anyone could have one without knowing. You could have one. Anyone watching this could find one someday. And it only takes one. That is why collectors love this story. It's not just about history, it's about hope and the thrill of maybe discovering something rare. All you need is to check your old coins. Look at every 1965 quarter you own. Weigh it if you can. Check the edge for copper. Listen for that silver ring. And if you think you found something special, never clean it, because cleaning can destroy thousands of dollars in value. Instead, send it to a trusted grading company and let the experts confirm it. The rare 1965 silver quarter is one of the most exciting coins in modern U.S. history because it was never supposed to exist. It slipped through the chaos and pressure of the mint's metal transition, and now the few surviving pieces have become legendary treasures. These coins tell an amazing story of confusion, rush, and unexpected mistakes that accidentally created some of the most valuable Washington quarters ever made. Imagine a simple quarter that could buy a nice dinner back in 1965 being worth enough today to buy a brand new car, pay off debt, or even make a down payment on a house. That is the magic of this coin. And while most people will never find one, the possibility is real enough to make you want to look. So the next time you open an old drawer, count some change, or pick up a quarter off the ground, take a moment and check the date. If it says 1965, you could be holding history. You could be holding a treasure. And if you're lucky, you could be holding a quarter worth $80,000 or even up to $128,000. Sometimes huge surprises hide in the smallest places, and this rare 1965-era quarter is proof of that. If you want, I can also rewrite this script for YouTube Shorts or turn it into a voice-over ready version.